Oh man, it wasn't the big screen. We ruined the Bilbo reveal. Hi guys, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good. Wow. It has been so insane. There's been so much stuff happening. And since we finished Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, I figured, what the heck? We might as well look at Bilbo for the next 3 hours. I figured we'd do a discussion stream. You know, that's my life. Hey, I'm grateful for it until PayPal and Mastercard and Visa ban me in the next week. Then we're cooked. Guys, I'm actually gonna have to put the fries in the bag. Bilbo is here. You guys were correct. It was 82% said yes. You guys win. I don't know what happens when you guys don't win, but well, you win today. That's what counts. Anyway, hi guys, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good. Tonight, we're hanging out for the next several hours. There's been so much stuff happening, so much stuff to talk about, and I am a real woman. What is a woman? I am a real woman, and so that means that I have a legal obligation to yap a certain amount of time every single week. So yeah, there's been so much happening. Unfortunately, a lot of negative, creators being censored, funding being ripped away from people, more censorship. But we have a little bit of good news to start the stream off on. It's been a week. Guys, it's only been a week. What the heck happened? Guys, where's the modern audience? The modern audience was supposed to show up. I think that's so funny. Drew, thank you for the $9.99 right at the start of the stream. #1 political streamer. That's me. #1 pro gamer? No. I was told today, again, every day that ends in a Y, that I'm too negative on this channel, even though most of the streams I do are me sitting here playing games that I like. Okay, well, to be fair, the past couple of games, before Wu Chang, we played Rings of Power over here, Tales of the Shire, that was bad. We played Death Stranding 2, that was boring. What else did we play? We played something else. We played something else that was bad. Hold on, I have to check real quick. We played Bonanza, which was good. We played Lies of P, Stellar Blade, which is good. And then before Death Stranding 2, which was boring. The last bad game, I guess it's been a while since the last bad game, actually, so look at me. You know, I'm trying to give the haters the benefit of the doubt. Stupid. Thank you, though. Drew for the $9.99. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. You know, we're on StreamYard, so no sexy dancing lady notifications, but that's all right because, you know, now that it can pop right up on the stream. Oh, Creature Kind. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you, Juby. I knew we were playing something else that was just horrendous. Absolutely terrible. But yeah, I thought we'd start the stream off with highlighting the absolutely magnificent, very successful, may I add, Tales of the Shire. Guys, it's only been 9 days. Listen, I completely understand, right, that it was made by a smaller team, apparently. It probably had a smaller budget. Maybe these people, you know, have never made a game before. It's cozy. It's not supposed to be the most technologically advanced game, but also it could have at least been a decent game. It could have been an okay game. How do you have the Lord of the Rings at your fingertips to utilize? And this is what you come up with a week later. Well, technically 9 days later, so more than a week later. And it's already down to 2,419, and it's low, like this morning, right? at the wee hours of the day, 691. Oh my goodness. I mean, 961. Little dyslexic there. That is crazy to me. Anyway, I thought we'd start off the stream with a little laugh before we get into the yikes of the topics, because wasn't it like 60 million? I haven't seen any specific numbers that have any sort of like legitimate source behind them. I mean, I would go out on a limb and say it was probably like 25 million. But we don't know for sure. I mean, maybe there's proof and evidence behind the 60 million figure you're referring to. I haven't seen it though, but it might be out there and I'm just a doofus. Death Stranding 2 is a bad game from whatever. Death Stranding 2 is... it's boring. I mean, sure, if the game was like 75% combat and the boss fights were cool, but cool boss fights don't make up for the rest of the game being absolutely trash. It's unfortunate. Those 2.4K people playing must be people who will play any cozy game regardless, probably. And like, I'm a girl, right? I'm a certified cozy game lover. But you'd think that they'd make a cozy game that was actually good. Also, you'll have to let me know how the music is in the background. It might be low. I have it probably slightly too low. But then again, it's not like it's metal. Anyway. Would have been better off making another Shadow game. Exactly. Like, they could have made so much money off of reusing the Nemesis system and continuing those games. Like, those games were good as heck. But, well, we know how that goes. The Lord of the Rings world has so much stuff to offer if you stay faithful to the lore. Yeah. Exactly. By the way, guys, soon I'll be doing my Lord of the Rings Tolkien collection video. I haven't done it yet. I've been putting so much time into watching like the censorship topic. Oh my gosh, it's insane. It's insane. There's so much of it. What music? Okay, well then it's too low. I mean, it's not like it's supposed to be super loud anyway. I'm replaying Shadow of War this weekend. It's so good. You know what's better? Sorry, hate to say it. Arkhamverse is better. I know. I'm a Arkhamverse shill, but the fact that they killed that with Kill the Justice League, which really was just Kill the Arkhamverse, it's okay, because I'd rather them not ever make another bad game than create 5 bad games for it in a row. Yeah. Just my take. I think I'm confusing it for the budget of another failure. What has had $60 million? Maybe South of Midnight? South of Midnight budget. South of Midnight development budget. I feel like that was... yeah. 40 to 60 million. So that might be the last Sweet Baby game you were thinking of. Too many Sweet Baby games. Yeah. I don't know. 100% no more bad game. Well, okay. The thing, right, is that we do need some bad games. Because if every game is good, that means that the Sweet Baby Incs stay in business. So they need to keep making bad games so they can go out of business. So, you know, I don't want the Anita Sarkeesians and Brianna Wu and Zoe Quinns to work their way into this industry and then find success. Sorry. I hate to say it. I mean, if they create a really astounding game, I guess they deserve credit. But if every game is successful, even the ones that are bad, then they'll never be pushed out of this industry. And the tourists will take it over. They've been trying, so, like, I don't know. I mean, in theory, I'd love every game to be good, but I don't want people like Anita Sarkeesian to keep making money off of us. Which, by the way, our wonderful mod Chris has a hots for Anita Sarkeesian. What else do we get? Oh, guys, I know we've been talking a lot about how there's theories floating around that we're going to see adult content that features violence being targeted next, which, not that that's new or shocking, because of course if they're going to target one genre of games being adult NSFW content, they're of course going to be targeting other forms of adult content, and that would mean things like violent video games, gory video games, the Mortal Kombats, cue the ESRB formation. Well, we know that at least Take-Two feels like they're just going to keep barreling forward and they don't care if people are trying to cancel their game, because after 13 years since the release of Grand Theft Auto V, GTA 6 is officially set to launch on May 26th, 2026, according to the Take-Two Interactive CEO in an interview with Variety, which, by the way, it wasn't just in an interview with Variety, it was also in their earnings call. So, like, okay, Variety, you can spin it as if you are the gods of the industry. But, yeah. I never thought we would get GTA 6 before Winds of Winter. I thought we would have gotten Elder Scrolls 6 before we got GTA 6. And I thought that we would get Winds of Winter before all of them. Oh, how the tables turn. Oh, how the tables turn. I'm a little worried still. I know we've all been talking about if, because of the shift in like the internal studio culture, if that will end up affecting what content actually makes it into GTA 6. I think that, sure, maybe the game will be slightly different than what we ultimately want, but I don't know if it's just me coping. I feel like it's not going to be so insanely watered down. Maybe it will be, right? Cautiously optimistic and always expect the worst possible outcome, but I don't know. I think either way, though, what sucks is GTA 6 is too big to fail. So, yeah. Winds of Winter, we will get it after he dies. Will we, though? Will we, though? Did he get a new Ghost Rider, or what? Also, hello, Rover. Oh, how the turntables. Yeah. GTA 6, it's an AI hoax. Where's the gameplay? They're hiding it in a vault, and we will definitely for sure see it just 24 hours before release. That's it. I have a question. What are your thoughts on sex appeal being the norm in today's games? Is it extreme, or is it something that is acceptable on a certain level? I think sex appeal for male and female characters is at an all-time low in the gaming industry. And I think that it could be significantly higher. And I think that there are some games that are marketed heavily on sex appeal that do good, right? Like the first Ascendant. I know people's opinions have changed a little bit on that, but the first Ascendant, Stellar Blade, Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers. But we have seen a vast majority of the female and male characters in entertainment, and in this case specifically video games, be toned down over the past couple of years as new iterations and reboots and remakes come out. And I think there should be more sex appeal. I think we're talking about non-realistic characters. Even look at superheroes, right? They're supposed to be the peak of humanity, or, you know, represent humanity. Like Eve technically isn't a human, but you know, she's supposed to look like a human. So, yeah, I think we need more sex appeal. Thank you for the 5. I saw Alana Pierce drop a video on Collective Shart, and she was pulling a no true Scotsman because the members are Christian. I didn't see a video from her. Did it like go up today? It must have gone up today. I haven't seen anybody talk about it. 2 days ago, inside the religious hit squad that's censoring video games and everything else. Oh, geez. Hey, guys, at least the video's sponsored. I think, you know, this isn't specifically about Alana Pierce. This is about any creator. I think if you only put up a video when you get a sponsorship, nobody should take you seriously. I don't care how big you are. If you're only putting up content when you can directly make money off of another company, I think that's stupid. And I think you deserve less respect than people who just upload content because they either find it to be a fun hobby or because it's their living. But thank you for the 5. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I'll have to definitely watch that. What chance is Eve going to be uglier in Stellar Blade 2? Little to none. I don't really think any. I don't think that she's going to be uglier at all. They might call themselves Christians, but I guarantee they're not bearing good fruit. I haven't seen Collective Shout refer to themselves as a like Christian organization. I haven't seen that. So, I mean, maybe they have. Definitely haven't seen that myself, though. Anyway, 13 years. GTA 6 is officially set to launch on May 26th. I'll be live. I'll be here. Live streaming it, guys. As long as it's not banned by then. I mean, I don't know, but given the state of the internet right now, I don't even know if my channel will exist in 6 months or 7 months or 8 months. I don't even think it will exist by the time May 26th rolls around. Anyway, 2 fast topics. Also, a third fast topic, Silent Hill. I'm obviously very excited for Silent Hill F. I have a lot of high expectations. I have a lot of high hopes. I really hope that it comes out. I hope it's really good. I hope that it's really fun. I'm excited, but at the same time, always be cautiously optimistic. It's looking really solid so far. But apparently, they decided to go in this new direction to appeal to new players. Now, I understand in order to sell as many copies of something as possible, right, they need to make their product appeal to as many people as possible. And I don't necessarily blame companies for wanting to make money, right? That's what they're supposed to do. That's why companies exist. But when I hear new players, like the term modern audience, it's instant red flags. So I hope that this turns out to be a nothing burger. I hope that this doesn't end up meaning that we're going to see such an insane shift in the direction of the franchise going forward. But it definitely doesn't sit well with me when we hear something like this. So in an interview with GameSpark, the Silent Hill series producer and the Silent Hill F director were asked why the game has more action than previous entries in the series. They explained that the shift to action was a deliberate attempt to avoid repeating the typical Silent Hill formula and try something different instead. My problem with this is the reason why Silent Hill has been successful is because of the Silent Hill formula. So why would you decide to change the Silent Hill formula? Why would you not then just create a new franchise that is similar to Silent Hill, that doesn't use the Silent Hill name, where you can experiment? Because you're relying on Silent Hill fans to buy it. But if your idea holds its own, right, and it's actually a good idea and an idea people want, then it should be able to stand on its own. So, to me, it's just like, why do this? Why abandon What made Silent Hill Silent Hill? And so far, this game looks good. I'm not a complete hater. I'm excited for it. But it's just the way that they're wording information like this. It's such a red flag, in my opinion. Thank you for the 10. Speaking of ugly games like Tales of the Shire, Pokemon Gen 9 on Switch 2 is night and day difference. Proves these games need an additional 2.5 years to cook. Oh, absolutely. Studios are so worried about meeting bottom lines, and I know that it comes down to like publishers as well and CEOs. It's not just the developers making the game, but they're so worried about meeting deadlines that they sacrifice what could have been a pretty good game if they actually let it cook for significantly longer. We see this happen so often, like with South of Midnight. That's a great example. It's a sweet baby game, sure. I didn't think it was the worst. I thought a lot of the boss fights were really cool. I thought the aesthetics were really cool. I just thought that the writing was pretty bad. And the combat was so insane, and not in a good way. That's for sure. But if they had made the combat better and they put more time into it, I think that it could have turned out to be a pretty decent game. But yeah, there are a lot of Pokemon games that have come out now that are really bad. I hope the new Pokemon ends up being really good. But thank you for the dono. It says, we didn't want to end up recreating Silent Hill 2 over and over again, and we were aware that there was no reason to keep making clones of it, so in order to avoid repeating what previous major titles did, we decided to make the action stand out more. They added that by making a more action-focused game, Konami may be able to encourage those who have never played a Silent Hill game before, especially newer generations who didn't grow up with the series, to try it out. I feel like maybe I'm just too protective of amazing, nostalgic franchises. But I feel like if you're no longer trying to make your product appeal to the people that made it popular in the first place, then you might as well abandon the franchise. Like, you might as well, yeah, just start making something else that's similar, but with a new name. And of course, they're never going to do that because they're understanding to the fact that using the Silent Hill name makes money on its own. But it's such a bad look. The Silent Hill series isn't considered a game that has entertaining action per se, but as we're opening our doors to new players, we began to wonder what it would be like if we added more of those elements into the game. Was Silent Hill ever about the action, though? Was it ever supposed to be about the action? It was about the atmosphere. It was about the horror. It was about the darkness and the grittiness. It wasn't supposed to be like super action oriented. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too doom and gloom and this will turn out to be amazing, but it just feels like they're so desperate for something new that they're abandoning what made things in the past special. Challenging action games are gaining popularity among younger players nowadays, so I believe that if we implemented such elements into the game, it would resonate well even with people who are new to the series. Okay, so when are we getting the fucking chug jugs, the fucking building mechanics, the fucking 360 no scopes, the Call of Duty fucking Seth Rogen marijuana skins? You know, that's the problem with this mentality. It's such a slippery fucking slope. Oh, what do the kids like? Well, the kids like fucking dog shit. Sorry. Hate to say it. But how many kids out there actually are going to care about Silent Hill? Even if you make it a little bit more Resident Evil, the only way you're gonna get the kids to care about Silent Hill is if you're adding fucking bazookas and AKs, right? And it's fucking extraction moded. And you have $30 microtransaction skins. What kids are you talking about, guys? Hollywood Guy, thank you for the 7 months. Vera, I used my credit card for a good use. A video game. What video game? What game did you buy? Is it a good one? I hope so. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Also, trends change. That is also true. So what might be hot and trendy now won't be in 5 years or 10 years. Well, maybe technically they will. Because, like, I don't know, hero shooters, right? Those are probably going to be popular for a long time. Extraction shooters, those are going to be popular for a long time. Gun games and violence and horror, those things are not going to go away, but they're going to continue to evolve. So, yeah, I don't know. Liza P in the DLC, absolute cinema. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. You are actually about to have your life changed. It's so good. Liza P is one of the best games I've ever played, hands fucking down. It's so good. Congratulations. Cause, yeah, it's gonna be good. Anyway, guys, time to move on to the next topic. Another quick one. I have a lot of quick topics, even though, well, I say that they're quick and then I sit and talk about them for, 30 minutes. Contraband was a game that we saw originally in 2021. So already we're talking about years and years and years ago. 4 years ago. That's crazy to me. 4 years ago, we first got the announcement for Contraband. We didn't know exactly what it was going to be. We didn't know exactly what it was going to entail. But this was supposed to be an open world, co-op, heist-style smuggler's paradise. Which I know initially had a lot of people wondering if it was actually going to come out and be decent, because you literally never know. I'm sure that there's a lot of people now who don't even remember this, but we never saw any gameplay. We just had heard that it was supposed to be this massive experience. It was by Avalanche Studios, and now it has been canceled. Xbox canned it. To me, this really sounded like modern audience, like Tomb Raider, almost, right? It's heist, you're stealing things, it's open world. I don't know, something about it, and the way that the actual, like, I think it was 30-second teaser looked. Yeah, it really didn't strike me as being that special. Also, pair that with the fact that this was a Sweet Baby Inc. game. Yeah, I see maybe why Xbox canned it. Now, we don't know a ton of details about it, but if it's 4 years later and they still hadn't even put out a legitimate teaser and trailer, and they didn't actually show gameplay off, and it's been 4 years since you announced it, it's either, yeah, hello Pajo, gameplay is overrated. Very gay. It's either that, number one, this game was truly in development hell, or two, they had Perfect Darked it, where, if you remember, talked about it a couple weeks ago, with the Perfect Dark remake, they created a trailer specifically to release to gauge reaction. And so I wonder if this is just one of those, we need a term for it, like teaser baits, I don't know. Because all they're doing is releasing a teaser to gauge reaction. It's not that the game actually exists or that it's even really in full development. Because, like, with Perfect Dark, they said that they had kind of sort of really started developing it, but the trailer that they had showed off was basically fucking doctored footage. And they're like, well, technically it runs, just as long as you do everything the exact way that we did in the trailers, which is terrible. So I feel like that's going to be a very toxic trend we're going to continue to see in this industry over the next, well, I was going to say couple of years, but to be honest, probably forever. I don't even know if this trend is going to stop, because if a company every single year can release, I don't know, 10 teasers, and instead of actually putting hundreds of millions of dollars to get to the point where they can make a teaser, but they can just put, I don't know, $10 million into making fake teasers and then gauge reaction, well, the 2 that do the best they can greenlight and the other 8 they can scrap. And it saves them a lot of money and a lot of time. I'm not siding with these companies, but I do see the benefit of it. Hollywood guy, thank you for the 5. That just means every time a teaser or trailer releases, we need to ratio it harder. We need to be bigger haters. Weird questions. Have you played Creedfall? The game created by spiders. And are you interested in the new Mafia game? I will be streaming Mafia, I think tomorrow, because I will not be streaming on Saturday. So I think I'll be streaming Mafia tomorrow and Sunday. And then either we'll finish it in that time frame, or we'll be finishing it on Tuesday, next Tuesday. But I will be streaming it. Creedfall. I don't know what that, you mean Greedfall? I don't think I've ever heard of a Creedfall. Creedfall? I just said it 8 times. I think you mean Greedfall. No. I have not played. I played the first one. I did not play the second one. I didn't even finish the first one. I've heard better things about it, though. Maybe I should play it at some point and actually give it a fair shot. But thank you for the donation. Creedfall sounds familiar. Yeah, you mean Creedfall. That's fine. That's fine. We figured it out. We cracked the code. But yeah, I don't have any full thoughts or opinions to give you on it. I got bored too fast with the game. Yeah, I don't remember there being some like major reason why I decided to stop playing it. But it did come out in 2019, so that was a while ago. Listen, I barely even remember the past week's worth of videos, never mind going back all that time when I was playing then. But I had made a post about Contraband saying stop announcing games so early, announce engage reactions 2 years before max. It's been 4 years and it clearly wasn't done, or they probably would have pushed it out. So yeah, that's bad. But also, I can't say that I'm that heartbroken given it's a Sweet Baby Inc. game. As you can see over on DEI Detected, Contraband featured on Sweet Baby Inc.'s official webpage. Well, it doesn't exist anymore. Sweet Baby's webpage, or it does, but it doesn't have like the announced projects or partner pages anymore. It's actually been a while since I went to Sweet Baby's webpage. I'll open that tab so I can go to it later, but yeah, I mean, Goodbye Volcano High, Suicide Squad, Hyper Light Breaker, Motorfest, Ragnarok, and then Contraband is right here. We worked on sensitivity reading, character bios, and script writing, so basically everything that needs to be good. They fucked up. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that Sweet Baby Inc. was the only reason why this game was canceled, but I would make an educated guess that it was one of the factors as to why Xbox decided to scrap this game. It was probably being worked on for maybe 2 years, or maybe the full 4 years, I don't know. And it was in development hell. They probably a couple of weeks ago laid off like half the team working on it, or maybe all of them. We don't know the size or the scope. And you pair that with the fact that the initial teaser was met with a lukewarm response, primarily because it didn't have any gameplay or anything. And then also Sweet Baby was a factor. Yeah, if you have to hire Sweet Baby to work on your writing because you suck that much at writing, this game is, your game's just not going to be successful, because Sweet Baby is filled with people who don't know how to write. So you're a team of people who can't write, hiring other people who also can't write. Like, brain dead decision, at least in my opinion. Sweet Baby doesn't have any good talent. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they ever did, though. To be fair, I think that it's just a bunch of people who thought that they could make money off of this industry, and they got together and they said, fuck it, let's use our gender and our skin color and our sexuality to try to get a leg up into space. And well, I don't think it worked out for them, given they're one of the most hated companies. I don't know if they're the most hated anymore, given the situation with Collective Shout, but Sweet Baby, it's a little bit different because they actually are part of the gaming space, whereas Collective Shout isn't. They're just a group of feminist fucks who thought that they could profit off of gamers and boss gamers around, and yeah, that's not happening. Correction, Vera. SBI is filled with people who steal other authors' ideas because they can't write for themselves. That is true. That is true. Guys, it's... what did they call it? Good thieving? Good stealing? Ethical theft? So stupid. That's so dumb. Grifters? Oh yeah, absolutely. All the women that were part of Gamergate 1, and well, the ones who have inserted themselves into the industry now during, you know, Gamergate 2, they're all just grifters. They don't actually care about the industry. Actually, gaming is in a good place. Yeah, for sure. It's okay when we do it. Yeah, guys, it's okay when they steal. It's okay when they alter a script. You know what? I'm starting my own consulting services. I've decided, guys, what I'm gonna do personally is I'm gonna start a consulting service that takes the fucking bullshit out of games that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on. And it's okay, because you know what I'm doing? I'm ethically editing their work. I'm taking their general idea, right? And I'm making it my own. And then that's okay. It's ethical because I say it is. It's fine because I say it is. It's not stealing. It's not desecrating somebody else's work. It's good editing. Robotic, thank you for the 12 months. GTA 6, main character, MC, main character, Whoa girl? How am I supposed to say that? Come on, Robotnik, listen, speak English. Get out of the car. That's okay with you. I'm not trying to rush you or anything. I'm sorry if it's an inconvenience. A modern gaming. Yeah, that is really modern gaming. And I don't, it's not even funny, man. It's literally not even fucking funny, because it's like the equivalent of you going to shoot a character and then them holding up a stop sign and then them giving you a lecture on respecting someone's identity and how you can't harm certain individuals. Soon we're gonna get a game where you're going to have a female character who is the most diverse you can think of, right? She's a black woman rolling around in a wheelchair. She's going to be in a GTA setting, and she's going to be popping wheelies, but she's going to be going around the world, right? You can commit violence towards people, but if you harm somebody who is not a white cis man, you lose points, but you gain points if you harm the white cis man in the game. Sounds like Hitman, but for fucking weirdos, but soon we're gonna get that. Corey, thank you for the 5. Oh, I don't even want to read it. I have PTSD when I see your name. Hey, Vera. Everyone was excited at the Autopsy Club last night. It was an open mic night. Thank you for the 5. How many jokes do you have in your Google Doc right now? I swear to God, you better not fucking be using ChatGPT for this shit. You better not be. Bad News Badger, thank you for the donation. Collective Shout is only a front. Gonna name drop Russ Vaught. How do I say that name? Vaught? I'm assuming? As a person of investigative interest. Oh yeah, I mean, we've already known that his name has heavy ties to basically everything that's going on right now. The problem with Collective Shout is, yeah, I mean, they are an organization that demanded like payment processors rip their services away from these certain platforms, but I've said it from the beginning, right? Why would Visa and Mastercard, you know, like take full responsibility when this stupid group of brain dead feminists are taking some of the heat off of them? So they're fine, right, with Collective Shout yelling and yapping to the world because it's taking heat off of them. But second of all, these credit card companies and banks and payment processors clearly wanted to do this anyway. So yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Been saying it for a while. Thank you for the donation. Creators Freedom, thank you for the 2. So has Nexus Mods purged their NSFW mods? Not completely. Of course, they've been very selective about mods and which ones are, you know, allowed on the platform. Basically, if it's a sexy woman that they personally don't agree with and they can own the chuds, they'll remove it. And then if it's, you know, bears, they're perfectly fine with it. Which, by the way, guys, hey, it's been like 2 months. Still no response from Nexus Man. Let his words, or let his actions speak louder than his words, huh? I think Nexus Mods will continue to crack down, though. I think every organization is going to be cracking down on content, unfortunately. Corey, thank you for the 5. I'm not using ChatGPT. I get them from X. Got a whole database worth. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. Thank you for the 5. Well, thank you for the 10. Of course, I appreciate it. Oh, also, Bilbo. What's Bilbo doing? Hold on, let's take a peek. What's he doing? Sleeping. But yeah, I'll take a peek at Contraband to see if I can find any of the ex-developers who are now affected over the next day or two to see if they're complaining at all. But ultimately, I can't say I'm particularly shocked that this is happening, and I don't think anybody else is really shocked either. Like, it's a game that was announced 4 years ago. They hadn't given us any other information. Plus, you pair that with the fact that they were working with this extremely controversial company, Sweet Baby Inc. Yeah, I mean, it was just a recipe for disaster, so not shocked. I'll be keeping my eye on it, but obviously, some of Sweet Baby Inc.'s games' latest are not doing so good. Tales of the Shire, 2400 South of Midnight, 65, 1400 all-time peak. Square Enix labeled Life is Strange Double Exposure the latest large loss. L after L after L after L. And can't say that I'm personally sad about it. I'm not gonna get excited for any game that has Sweet Baby Inc.'s name affiliated with it. Gato, thank you for the 2 months. Ulfric did nothing wrong. He defeated fair combat. Listen. Listen. I feel like it's not dissimilar to Elden Ring. Listen, you guys get annoyed when I sit here and I constantly talk about Elden Ring. I think I've never truly voiced my love for Skyrim, right? I've said I love Skyrim before, but you guys get annoyed with my Elden Ring references and my Elden Ring lore drops and shit. I don't think I'm allowed to do that with Skyrim. I think we would be cooked and I would never stream anything else again or talk about anything else again. Thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate it. This is Elden Ring. I don't know what we're gonna do about the next Zelda game, by the way, because 4 Swords... They didn't end up putting single player mode onto the Switch Online, and I have to get the Anniversary Edition legally, very legally online. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Elden Ring is the worst piece of trash ever made. Sure, buddy. You know what? I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna say anything else. Not gonna say anything else. Anyway, let's move on. We have so many topics to discuss. Guys, there's a lot of censorship going on in the video game industry and on the internet in general. I've been talking a lot about what's been happening on or in regards to the video game industry, because if I try to cover literally everything, I'd probably never be making any other videos ever again. And so I've been primarily just focusing on what's happening in the video game industry, though I feel it's important to talk about artists, what's going on there. Of course, the ID situation is also something I've been chatting about, but we are seeing a plethora of creators losing either the way that they make funds, the way that they make money, being cut off from payment processors, certain platforms banning them, withholding money. It's very bad. It's gotten very bad, especially over the past couple of days, because it's one thing to hear that, oh, you know, a video game company might be affected, or, oh, this might happen to you, but it's different when you're seeing it actually starting to happen to so many creators. So I talked about this today in a video, though Zenko Kurashita, a politician in Japan, has been very vocal, right? He had made this post highlighting this issue, but this creator said, I was uploading NSFW illustrations to Adobe Cloud and got my account banned without any prior warning. If I had known they were even monitoring the cloud like some kind of censorship, I wouldn't have trusted Adobe in the first place. I'm in the middle of filing an appeal, but if this doesn't work out, I might have to ditch Adobe altogether. They're just too high-handed. Here's to breaking free from Adobe. And this is such a major problem because AI is in every company now. Every company is promoting AI, and that means that they constantly have AI that is scanning your work, scanning your messages, scanning your account, scanning for certain keywords, and then your accounts get unfairly banned. Adobe cost an arm and a leg, and of course, you're not going to get a refund. You're not going to be monetarily compensated. You're not going to be able to access the work because they're ripping it away from you. This is terrible. This is terrible. And I know that Savvy had also made a post about this, but Zenko had said reports of censorship in Japan. It has been reported that after uploading NSFW illustrations to the cloud service, the account was frozen without prior notice, and the appeal was rejected. It is no exaggeration to say that even the contents of the cloud are now being monitored. Such a worrying situation. I get that as an individual, right, you might feel uncomfortable with certain art on the internet. You know what's great about that? You don't have to look at it. Yep, you literally don't have to look at it if you don't like it. And somebody should be able to create that art because ultimately it is legal. And I get, right, you're bringing up the conversation of, well, technically this person's in Japan and laws are different in Japan than somewhere like the United States. We're talking about people from all across the world that this is happening to right now. I know Savvy had posted, most don't read the rules, but it's time we do. Adobe will now suspend accounts of artists if they deem what they have saved to the cloud as a lewd or any other vague word in the toss. This is the problem. Otherwise objectionable. We've been saying this for years now. Companies can remove your account and lock down your account and delete your account for whatever reason, whenever the hell they want, but it's only going to get worse now. Just because they had it in the toss previously didn't necessarily mean that they were doing that in droves to tons of accounts, but now they are. listen, this whole situation is not funny. It's not funny. I swear to fucking God, I'm not laughing at this person being censored, but why would they make this as Rule 6.9? Share or generate any content or engage in behavior that is unlawful, harmful, threatening, obscene, violent, abusive, tortious, defamatory, libelous, vulgar, lewd, invasive of another person's privacy, hateful, or otherwise objectionable. Why'd they have to do it as 6.9? You know what? I am so fucking offended with this being Rule 6.9. I want them to remove this rule. That's offensive. That is abusive and lewd and invasive to my privacy. It is hateful and it is objectionable. Remove Rule 6.9. If only. If only, huh, guys? If all of us band together, maybe they'll have to listen to us. If collective shout can do it, so can we. As a woman, I feel personally fucking offended and disgusted by this. Remove this rule. You are hurting a woman in real life with this rule. Get rid of it. Ban that rule. Anyway, this situation isn't funny, but I just thought the fact that it's 6.9 is kind of funny. I wasn't the only person saying it. I wasn't the only one saying it. John, thank you for the donation. It's very worrying Nintendo games increase price. They haven't increased the prices yet for the games, for NSO membership, or for the Switch 2, but they said it is a possibility, unless you mean them going from 70 to 80 for some games, and unfortunately, we know that companies have been wanting to do that for a very, very long time. And now they've just kind of got the fire lit under them to be able to do it. But this wasn't the only person who I had wanted to talk about. Sin's House is a pretty big creator over on X, multiple different platforms, obviously. 144,000 over on X. Absolutely crazy. Good for them. They're very successful artists. They create really good art. Just a couple of days ago. Now, this is painful, right? Just a couple of days ago, they were talking about how fiction is treated as reality, and it's frustrating to live under the fear of being banned because an adult woman with a flat chest is considered a minor when I state that she is an adult. Talking about how Patreon was suspending adult content creators because of its payment processors back in 2018. Well, apparently they did not like that, because my Patreon account was deleted without notification, and they're figuring out what happened. Absolutely fucking terrible situation. Imagine being a person who is just creating art of characters they love and characters that they've created, and they just want to provide content to people. Like, we are not talking about illegal content here, and even so, NSFW content is not illegal, right? It's not illegal. But unfortunately, Tobias or Sin has now had their Patreon account shut down. I have chatted with him a little bit. Tomorrow, I believe he'll be releasing a longer thread on it, and I will be, covering this in another video. But yeah, I mean, when somebody's livelihood, or even if it's not their livelihood, right? Let's even put that argument aside for a minute. Just somebody who's creating art because they're passionate about creating art, that ability is ripped away from them, an avenue to share your art. That is fucking terrible. That is absolutely insane. Unfortunately, though, Patreon has been pretty bad about NSFW over the past couple of years. I have a Patreon account. Obviously, I don't put up NSFW on it, but that's actually a really big reason why OnlyFans had ended up getting so big around that same time frame. They really cracked down on art and photos and yeah, just any kind of like adult content. So, you know, that dates back to 2018. And now they're just going through this next kind of wave of censorship. Thanks. Mr. Alex, thank you for the donation. Just wanting to ask your opinion. Are you aware of a lot of video game developers are now using the design by committee processor approach? A lot of gamers I know are concerned about this big time. Do you mean that they will have like a board of people who will look over a game and say decide collectively on like a story direction or a certain visual style or something like that? Because if you're talking about a specific situation, then I don't know about it and I don't have any details. But if you're just talking about generally like sharing like let's say 10 ideas for a story direction and they all have to agree on one. Or if you mean like the Square Enix diversity and ethics committees, there's a couple of things that could mean. But thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. I'll watch out for a message from you in chat. Or feel free to tag me so I can see it. He might be behind the censorship in video games. He needs to be exposed. Who? Oh, Russ? Yeah. I mean, he's not... Again, it doesn't just boil down to one person. There is not one single person in the entire world that could force all of this to happen. But we're talking about a group of people, right, that are ultimately pushing the same mentality and that all agree. And then, unfortunately, every company either wants to appeal to that certain person or that group of people. And yeah, I mean, obviously censorship is a slippery slope. So when one company does something, every company wants to do that something because they believe that they'll be on the good side of history. This doesn't sound like anything new for AAA. Yeah, I don't think that the committee idea really does. There are plenty of like industries that kind of have committees that make decisions. I feel like that is, I don't know, is it slightly better than just having one person calling all of the shots? Maybe. Because if it's more than one person, well, the problem is if you're only hiring, let's say, radical fucking leftists and you're hiring fucking feminists, well, then it really doesn't matter who's on that committee, because if that's just the entire mindset of the entire company, it's just going to continue to be trash. This is why it's important for there to be a diverse group of people behind a project. Waiting for everyone to follow Nintendo's pricing. Oh, several companies already have announced that they're planning to. And I mean, the only one that's gone back on that right now is Microsoft. At least for the Outer Worlds 2. It was always stupid for them to start pushing that concept with that game. That's crazy. Vera Baby Inc. Also, we hit the goal. Thank you guys. If we hit the goal again, I'll register Vera Baby Inc. in the fictional database. But yeah. So now we have this creator, and I think that the creator you all are going to know the most is Arch. Archcast had posted, I was just randomly deplatformed by PayPal. No reason given other than unusual activities, nonsense of course, and I was redirected to a page telling me about the rules of card companies. Please make some noise about this if you can and spread the word. I did retweet this, I did share it, I did comment on it. Go over to my X page and please do the same. But we're talking about a lot of creators, all of the creators actually that I'm discussing. I'm 90% sure are outside of the US. I don't know about Tobias. I'll have to reach out and ask, but I'm pretty sure not. So we're not talking about creators in the US. I will be interested to see when the US-based like censorship actually starts for creators. Either way, though, nobody should be censored like this. Nobody should. In my opinion, I know it's not the opinion of these fucking credit card companies and banks and payment processors, but this is absurd. It says, though, we no longer offer PayPal services for this account. And of course, another major issue is that he can't take the money out of the account. So right now, they are helping themselves to about 15 grand. They're stealing 15 grand from him. It says, we aim to provide our customers with the most seamless and user-friendly services possible. Unfortunately, sometimes we are unable to provide services to an account for a variety of reasons, including local laws, our policies, or the policies of our partners. Your account has been permanently deactivated. You can still view your transaction history, download statements, or request copies of your data. Yeah, but you're gonna fucking steal 15 grand from somebody? That is absolutely insane. And of course, the webpage says PayPal partners. I don't know why my lip is itchy. PayPal partners with card networks and various banks to provide a secure payment platform to our customers. Our partners have specific rules and restrictions for certain activities, transactions, and business models that are intended to maintain the security of these networks. Under these card network rules, PayPal complies with these requirements as well as applicable laws, local laws, and our own policies to maintain a safe environment and community for our users. So if even PayPal, right, has to shut people down because of card processors, oh, games are cooked. Hate to say it. I hate to be a doomer. Wowza. We are living in the worst timeline. Let me scroll up really quickly. The video game developers are mainly using the design by committee approach, mainly when it comes to development, testing, coding, graphing, etc. Mainly the whole game development cycle or approach of using the design by committee process. Have seen a lot of products fail using that approach. I think that I don't know any examples where it has been successful or it's been a failure, so I can't say exactly like what my opinion is based off of the statistics. But the issue, as I had said a minute or two ago, is that when a studio's an echo chamber and it's all people that are like-minded and there's no diversity of thought or opinion at a company, it doesn't matter if you have a council or a committee or it's just one person calling all the shots, it's going to be a clusterfuck anyway. So either way, it would be bad. Is that a cat behind you on the chair? Sorry if this is a stupid question. Whoa, I shut the camera off. Whoops. Yes, that is Bilbo. Bilbo! Hi! Mima! Bilbo! Oh, hey, hi. He's a funny guy. Hi, hello. He's tired of my bullshit. That is what it is. Sorry, Mr. B. Trying my best here. Bilbo says do not get the PayPal account banned. I'll try, mister. But yes, that is a cat. Cabal, thank you for the 7. Why 7? I don't know why. Thank you for the 7. It feels like we are under attack. It seems like collective shout are just foot soldiers being directed by someone else. Oh, absolutely. This is the problem, is that, sure, we need to keep pressure on collective shout, and we need to keep calling out collective shout, just like we needed to all those years ago call out feminist frequency and Anita Sarkeesian, but ultimately, it ain't fucking Anita Sarkeesian that's the only reason why we're seeing the world censorship happening. It's not collective shout. They're one of the major or problematic factors. I personally think collective shout just got, I guess we'll say, extremely unlucky with their timing when they plan to start attacking payment processors. And all of this was basically planned anyway because it all revolves just around the UK Safety Act. in the launch of that and the enforcement of that. And so their timing was extremely unlucky, or maybe they knew that it was around that time and that's why they launched this campaign, so they could hopefully get more attention. But their attention, or the attention that they're getting, is so bad. It is so extremely bad for them. There's no way that this fucking organization is going to survive. Everybody hates them right now. So yeah, but Arch had posted this. Of course, guys, go give him a follow. I'll be keeping my eye on this. I'll be covering this, I'm sure, tomorrow in a video, a general video about the topic. But yeah, there are a lot of creators right now who are having their ability to make money ripped away from them. There are certain platforms that are no longer allowing their content to be monetized, or even people be allowed to create certain content on their platforms, because as soon as it goes to the cloud, well, Adobe's kicking their butts. Patreon is having this issue, or I guess starting this issue on their platform. PayPal is pretty bad about it as well. So yeah, definitely be keeping my eye on the situation, but really, really terrible all around. Really bad. So yeah, I'll be keeping my eye on this. I'm sure I'll be covering it as well. But yeah, that's all that I really had to discuss with that. And now we can go on to what we're already chatting about. They're kind of very two like similar topics, right? Visa, Mastercard, the video game censorship, and not only Collective Shout, but also, where is it? NCOS. Oof. Man, I did a video on NCOS the other day. I'd say it was a pretty fucking spicy video, but, well, I'm fine with roasting these losers as much as possible. Mr. Alex, thank you for the dono. Collective Shout is tied to a group called the National Center. Yep, NCOS. Yep. Which has ties to Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, and Gerald Ford. They have connections with a hell of a lot of people. Definitely. Thank you for the donation. And Glitch Hunter, thank you for the 5. The gaming commentary sector needs to start focusing on Bridge and this Russ guy. They are the real villains right now. I don't want to necessarily say they are the biggest villains, because we're also talking just about fucking entire governments, right, that are perpetuating this problem in like the United States, right, allowing this to be a problem. But there are definitely a lot of people that we need to keep an eye on, that we need to be paying attention to. I do definitely agree with that. Thank you for the support. Keeps, thank you for the 10. Viva la resistance. Yeah. You know, maybe hey, you know, guys, all I gotta say is maybe Alan Moore was right. Thank you for the 10. I appreciate it. I'm not getting banned tonight. Pfft. Is this my live banning stream? Maybe. Thank you for the donation. So, do we want to start with Collective Shout, or do we want to start with NCOS? I guess all of this just is one big ball of cluster fuckery. I don't really think that I need to sit here and explain the general situation to you guys. I've made probably 20 videos on this over the past 2 weeks. I've been covering the censorship that's been happening a lot. Valve and itch.io are struggling against these major payment processors. Gamers and developers are pushing the anti-censorship cause, which of course is always phenomenal to see. Keep in mind that while the Access Media is talking about this, and while the Access Media is seemingly on the side of anti-censorship and gamers and free speech, it really just boils down to the fact that they hate Collective Shout more than they hate gamers, because Collective Shout is ran by Melissa Tankard-Rice, who is considered a TERF. She has a similar opinion to J.K. Rowling in that men are men and women are women, and they seemingly, right, support the LGB, but not the TQ plus IA. So of course the Access Media also has a certain like narrative, right, that they're pushing, a certain stance, and it's just fucking propaganda. But they are against Collective Shout for those reasons. And that's why the Anita Sarkeesians are speaking up against them. But while, you know, gamers and developers and certain platforms like GOG and Zoom are trying to fight back against this, these women are just on social media talking about this, saying that they can basically do no wrong. Final stream, folks. Yeah, this is my final stream, guys. Any last comments, leave them in chat. I'll try to read them all. We have so many problems and Hope Safe Act doesn't pass. Hope Safe Act. I don't know what that is. Thank you for the $1.99. Bad News Badger, thank you for the donation. I get it now. Every zombie apocalypse movie isn't really dead people, but basement-dwelling gamers forced out of hiding after their games were removed. True and real. True. Hey, at least we know we're represented. Hunter, thank you for the 5. The Rust guy is part of Project 2025. Yep, he is. And he has sway over payment processes, and one of the people pushing them to behave this way. He's pro-censorship. Yep, again, he's not the only problem, though. He's not the only person that's pushing this, because the UK had obviously, I would say, has acted as the major, like, I'd say the first domino. He is definitely a big problem, though, and we do need to be paying attention to him for sure. I personally don't believe, though, that only one guy is the reason the worldwide censorship is happening. Though, obviously, I don't have any proof for or against that, so your opinion is as good as my own. Your stance is as good as my own. I just don't think that it's only one guy that's primarily pushing it. So, guys, Caitlin Roper here. Roper? Whatever. She's a feminist activist, author, and campaigns manager at Collective Shout. She had posted a couple of days ago about how poor women, woe is me. A group of women, including survivors, objected to games glorifying sexualized torture and violence against women. Collective Shout called on gaming platforms to take them down, and when they didn't, we wrote an open letter to payment processors, who then required gaming platforms to update their policies and no longer host these games. That's not even the fucking truth. We don't expect these activist losers to actually tell the truth. But this is not the truth at all. As a result, thousands of men who are angry about losing their R games have subjected us to an onslaught of misogynistic abuse, R and death threats. They have sent us porn and CSAM, turned our images into porn, made threats against our families, expressed their desire for our deaths, published details about our small team of women, and asked Grok where we live and where we get coffee. Obviously, let's say it now, harassing people is not good. Sending people death threats, even if you don't like them, isn't good. The problem with these people, though, is that all they know how to do is play the victim and turn themselves into a victim. It's like with racism, right? If you're looking for racism in a movie, or you're looking for racism in a TV show or video game, you're gonna find it, right? If you're looking for something, you're gonna manufacture it in your mind, you're gonna concoct it in your mind. And there are definitely people, I'm sure, who have pushed the limits. I'm sure that there are definitely people in the gaming sphere who have said things that are a little bit too mean to these women. I'm not saying that there's a 0% chance that it's happened, but again, on the flip side, right, when you are a public figure and you are making public statements, you have to expect people to criticize you publicly. If somebody came into my stream right now and was like, you're a dumb fucking slut and you're hateful, okay, sure, whatever you say, pal. Congratulations. You want the gold fucking sticker? You got your 2 seconds of attention, you absolute retard. Like, when you are a public figure, you know what you do? You ignore people. And if you feel that your life is being threatened, report it to authorities and report accounts and block accounts. And again, I'm not saying that this definitely, without a doubt, isn't happening, but these people only know how to be victims. And so I can't take them seriously, and I can't sit here and say that, oh my gosh, my heart breaks and goes out for these women. You are literally trying to destroy a $200 billion industry. Why would I sit here and feel bad for you? That people are being a little bit mean to you on the internet. I'm just not going to. Like, yeah, if somebody takes it too far, that's bad. That shouldn't happen. But also, they paint it as thousands of men. You know what's funny about this whole entire discussion is that the video game industry, according to all the reports we see, unless you are claiming that all of the studies are wrong and they're all fucking doctored, 48% of video gamers are women. You are telling me it's only men who are criticizing you? You're telling me it's only men that are upset with you? You're telling me it's only men that are worried about the fact that you want the entire video game industry and all of their entertainment censored? Uh-huh. Despite this, the dominant narrative has been that we deserve it, that we, while on the receiving end of threats, are the aggressors, that women are responsible for men's violence and abuse against us, and we should keep our mouths shut about these violent video games. You are allowed to criticize these games if you want, and I'm also allowed to fucking criticize you. You're allowed to say these are disgusting games and they're degenerate and they could be removed offline, and I'm allowed to sit here and say you're a dumb fucking bitch. I'm sorry, but oh my God, it's okay when you do something. It's okay when you call people pedophiles and rapists and sexists and bigots and misogynists, but it's not okay that we say that you're dumb fucking loser hags who haven't gotten laid in 25 years, and that's why you're taking out this absolute hatred against men on their entertainment. The only reason why you're targeting video games is because you still view them as a male-dominated space. 48% of gamers are women. You are actively oppressing women. You are actively silencing and censoring women by demanding that certain games be removed off of the internet. If I purchase all of the games on this list that you want banned, well, you're silencing and censoring a woman. What about the female developers who made these games? You're telling me that there's no women who worked on, I don't know, what are some of the games that they wanted banned? Like GTA 5, you're telling me no women worked on that game? If even one single woman worked on GTA 5, you want to silence women. You're oppressing women. You are literally a part of the fucking patriarchy. I mean, the problem with their arguments is that they're brain dead. They don't actually think out their arguments for longer than 20 seconds. Because right there, it just gets destroyed. Thank you for the $1.99. I mean, the Online Safety Act. We are at an internet war. We definitely are. Thank you for the donation. Ian, thank you for the 25. Ian, listen, that's pounds, right? Ian, soon you're not going to be able to donate to this channel. Soon, your communications and this community's communications it's going to be separate. It's going to be like the wall of fucking China between us. How does that make you feel? Ian, it's time to come to the land of the free and the home of the brave. Not that it's very free anymore, given we're also being censored, but I guess it's a little bit better. Poncho, thank you for the 2. Keep it PG. I wasn't keeping it PG. I could put video game pornography up on the screen right now. That wouldn't be very PG. Glitch, thank you for the 5. The women of CS are crusty and old. You wouldn't really have to be desperate to make loot. You would have to be really desperate to make loots of them. I haven't seen a single person posting doctored photos of them or AI photos of them or anything like that. Maybe there are. Hallelujah. I haven't seen them yet. Yeah, thank you guys for your donations, though. Of course, I appreciate them. Also, we hit the goal a second time. Absolutely. Chads. Yeah, I know words. You're absolutely chads. I skipped a word there. You know what? It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. What's an extra word or two? You guys get the point. these men reveal their true natures and their abuse of women and who they disagree with, and you're not doing exactly the same. The only reason you're targeting the video game industry is because you believe it's a male-dominated space and you actively want to deny men of their enjoyment. It's like the male gaze. What a stupid fictionalized concept. The male gaze, sure, we'll say for argument's sake it exists, so does the female gaze. We need to censor women. You know what? Women need to start wearing burqas. Every human being needs to start wearing blindfolds, and they're only allowed to listen to, I don't know, fucking static now. Fucking white noise. If you actually cared about real women, you'd be talking about women in other places across the world who are actively being fucking brutalized and they do not have rights. You would be doing that, but you don't actually care about women. You care about denigrating men and propping up other women. You don't actually care about protecting women and young girls. You care about making money off of them. You care about making money off of the term woman, off of gender, off of sexuality, off of skin color. It's the same thing that Sweet Baby and King Kim Belair's do. You guys are also doing it. You don't actually care about women. Also, do you have blue jeans? Did you guys see that image? Oh god, did you guys see that image of that? How do I say this in a nice way? Did you guys see that image of that very rotund woman of color that was standing in front of the Sydney Sweeney sign, flipping it off? Hypernos, thank you for the 5. I need bleach for my eyes. Oh yes, it's always the misogynistic men, yet they forgot Madame Savvy gave them a shit sandwich too. Yeah, there's been plenty of women who have been talking shit about them. Packer Girl, Savvy, Haley Era, myself. I haven't been watching Side Scrollers over the last couple days, which, by the way, I'll be on Side Scrollers tomorrow. I'm sure Blabs has also wrecked them. There's plenty of women, but of course they're going to ignore our existence because it doesn't fit their narrative. Mr. Alex, thank you for the donation. Collective Shout has stated on Twitter that she has problems with women with strong, muscular, or bodybuilders or pro-bodybuilder physiques being portrayed in video games and would call them drug users. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of insane, the statements that these women are making. Elegantly spoken, I try my best. I'm a bit of a writer. Yeah, I didn't know if you guys had Rotund was literally what I was thinking. I didn't know if you guys had seen that. You know what? I could find it. I'm sure that the people want to see it. The people who haven't seen it so far are interested. I don't want to find it. Sydney Sweeney. What would I even type in? What would I really... Oh, here it is. It popped right up. Oh! That was another reason why I wanted to mention this really quickly. We the people. This is another... Do you remember a few years ago when Blizzard had made Womexin month? Or no, it was Twitch. I always say Blizzard. You know, fuck Blizzard. Blizzard sucks too. Put them all in the fucking gulag. Do you remember a few years ago when Twitch had put out their Womexin month? And of course, it's like Latin X, but the point of Womexin, which is WOMXN, is because it gets rid of the word men. They're so fucking bothered by the fact that the word woman has man in it. That's what this person did. Let's get rid of my face so the people can see it. Black Womexin. How can I just say, I think when a word exists and there's no proper way to pronounce it, if you use that word, you're stupid. Black Womexin have good genes. We're the blueprint. Remember that, you ash-filled buckets. Sister is half the size of this fucking billboard. Did she say anything else? Oh, she didn't. I know. Insane. What a What a fascinating thing. It really ticks me off, the word Wamexan. It's like birthing person. If anybody ever calls me birthing person in real life, I'm sorry, you're getting a knuckle sandwich from me right in the nose. The virtue signaling against Sydney Sweeney is so pathetic, and the fact that this lady is overweight while being mad at a fit woman and uses the term Wamexan unironically as the cherry on top. These politically brain-dead types are actually crazy, dude. Yeah, they definitely are. Completely off topic, though. Completely off topic. I had to rant about it for 2 seconds. You know, that's what women do. That's racist and sexist. That's bigoted. That's insane. That's insane. Glitch, thank you for the 2 Scott Steiner. She's fat. I think she's a little bit more than fat at this point, but hey, I'm not gonna say anything else, you know? Live in your body the way you want to live in your body for the 2 last years you'll be alive. Given you are so overweight, you're probably actively killing yourself. But I guess technically we're all dying every day, so I'm dying just at the 4th of the pace she is. But you know, that's everybody's allowed to live their life the way that they want. Hey, if you're stupid, that's fine. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Anyway, continuing on. Caitlin Roper had posted this, of course, locks down the thread. I always think that it's so funny, because if you actually are standing by your stance and you actually believe in your stance and you're defending your stance, why is it that you are so against actually standing by it? And actually, you're posting about it on a public platform. And I think Collective shouts, yeah, it's still, their posts are still protected because, of course, they are. Who are they following? Can you look at who they're following? No, you can't. I was gonna say I didn't know. Ooh, we should find their follower list. Just curious. I mean, their following list. They have lost followers over the past couple of weeks, which also doesn't help them. But the National Center on Exploitation, or NCOS, had previously posted this article. I did a full video on it if you're curious, but I thought we'd read it a little bit again anyway, because some of these claims are insane. Yeah, guys, defend... Chat, if you're enjoying the stream, defend dignity. Donate now. Even better, defend human dignity by clicking the dollar symbol, by donating via Streamlabs, which, by the way, Streamlabs is not going to pop up the stream because I'm not on StreamYard. I mean, I'm on StreamYard. I'm not on the other one. But click the dollar symbol. Or become a member, or gift memberships. Defend human dignity, guys, by donating. If you don't donate, you're a racist, sexist, bigoted, yada, yada, yada. I'm sure that we could sit here and come up with 850 different terms. Classic charity front. Yeah, guys. We definitely are defending, we're defending these young girls and these young women. We totally care. By the way, just give us a shit ton of money. You know, it's like on my channel, I say it, if you want to donate, that's awesome. It helps buy equipment for the channel. It helps me buy props and certain items for the channel, right? It helps me be able to play all of the games that I stream on the channel. But ultimately, I'm not sitting here going, oh, if you don't donate, you're not defending human dignity. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, it's just very manipulative the way that they word it. Drew, thank you for the $4.99. I'm so sad super stickers don't pop up. kind of ticks me off. But thank you for the donation. And Mr. Alex, thank you for the dono. I recommend your viewers to check out a game called Inzoi. I do know about it. Yeah, I have talked about it before. The developers are actively fighting against including body options for women, including muscular bodybuilder and pro bodybuilder physiques when people are demanding it. I haven't seen anything new from them, but I have talked about the game in the past. But yeah, thank you so much for the donation. And I will look into that to see if they've made any like statements that I could highlight on the channel. Help V buy the Switch 2 and overpriced games. Donate to the channel. It all goes to a good cause. It's going to my next Switch purchase. I'm gonna buy the Switch 2 OLED when it comes out next year. You know what? Here, I could put it back here. There, look at my Switch 2. Look at that. It's so good. Look at that. No. I'm putting it back because it'd be my luck Bilbo would jump up on this freaking table and absolutely wreck it. Then again, he does jump over the switches because he's a little rat. He's a little rat, man. And I love him to death, but the cause, V's addiction. I mean, it is kind of my job, so... Otherwise, what the fuck is the point to buy a Switch 2? If I was not a content creator, there's no shot I would have bought the Switch 2 at release. There's nothing to play. I have the Switch OLED. I've already played the 80 other games they want people to buy for the first time on the Switch 2. There's nothing to play except for Bonanza and Mario Kart World, and they're fine. They're not worth buying an $850 gaming setup for, though. That's for sure. Inzoi has a cat? I do like cats. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get banned by Nintendo soon. Probably. Switch 2 Fire Hazard. True. Hey, I had said it the first time I streamed with it. On release day, I said, man, guys, this console's fucking hot. This console, to the touch, is actually kind of uncomfortable. I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying. Anyway, Enco said, I didn't have to provide any ID or anything to verify my age and see some of the worst pornographic sexualized torture of women I've seen. It was pretty bad, some things I saw. I'm talking about games where the scenario is abducting women, holding them hostage, and torturing them. Any child could access that. I, of course, like any normal person, think it is important to protect children. I, of course, want children to be protected on the internet. But first of all, why are we not blaming parents for being shitty parents? Because it's a parent's job to make sure their child doesn't see this type of content. And second of all, why do you want to take it away from everybody under the guise of protecting children? Of course, we know that it's really about control and power. It's not actually about protecting the children. It's just a fucking Trojan horse. But third of all, that's just a straight up, like, it's just a straight up lie that, oh, I didn't have to verify. Well, okay, I guess it technically isn't because you don't have to provide an ID to verify an age. But at the same time, you still have to, if you go to Steam, input your age. If a kid is smart enough to bypass certain systems, like with the Norman Reedus situation. Let me find that real quick. Let me find that really quick. Brits getting around age verification for using animated game faces. If a child, which really is a teenager, is smart enough to do this, there's no system in the world except for while you are trying to access a game, a camera is recording your face at all times and it's trying to match up with the ID. There's no system you could create that a kid would not be able to abuse. And again, we ain't talking about 8-year-olds here. We're talking about 13, 14, 15. We're talking about teenagers. Okay? If a kid is smart enough to know to use an adult's face for this age verification, the only way you are going to be able to make sure kids can't get around the system is by having a camera constantly recording your face while you are live or while you're actively playing a game. That's the only way. Blame parents for not setting up parental controls and allowing their children full, unfiltered access to the internet. There are parental systems in place for a reason. Again, I of course care about children being protected. I absolutely do. But we know that protecting the kids and doing things for your protection ultimately is just a Trojan horse to more control and more censorship. They don't actually care about it. So yeah, anyway, that is a problem with their argument, but whatever. Recently, our friends at Collective Shout in Australia celebrated the success of their campaign, urging the removal of the nearly 500 R&I games from the video game platforms Steam and itch.io. These games allowed the players to act out explicit acts of violence and doing bad things to women and children. What? Which games? Which game? List me one single game that you found on Steam that let you do these things to a child. Find me one. Give me one, Encoast. Give me one, Collective Shout. Give me one. If you are actually being honest, which of course they're not being honest, that would mean that you are talking 12 and younger, right? Because past the age of 12, you're a teenager. That's not a child, right? That's a teenager. If these people are talking about someone who looks 17 and a half, again, you need to specify women and teenagers. But a child like 12 and under, I've never seen a game. Never seen it. Never seen it. I haven't seen it in the list of games. Now, I didn't study the entire list of games that were removed off of Steam and itch.io. We're talking about 30,000 games, right? But what game? And when you bring up women, we're talking about pixels. We're talking about pixelated women in sexually compromised situations. Like, sure, I personally am not somebody who wants to play sex simulator games. I personally don't care about the content of the sex simulator game, but ultimately, I am going to defend them because they are legal content and therefore they can exist. It's the parents' fault for not parenting, and there is no way for anything on the internet to actually be secure. Every government agency or corporation in the world gets hacked every year. Preach, 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 battery. Also, I'm not trying to be a hater, but your name really bothers me because the B is capitalized, but the S isn't. Sorry. I'm sorry. I hate to point it out. I hate to be that person. Roblox, Minecraft. We're talking about torture in Minecraft? What Minecraft have you been playing? Cuties, the video game. Don't give them any ideas. Do not give them ideas. Don't give them any ideas. Why does my YouTube keep breaking? Stop breaking. Stop. You're fucking annoying me. Why is YouTube doing this? Why are you doing this? Keeps freezing and then I have to reset everything. So annoying. Modded Minecraft. I guess I've never seen a Minecraft mod that allows you to do all that. Epstein emulator 2. English teacher Vera strikes again. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a bigot, but yeah. The fact that these games have been removed is an incredible victory, which NCOS unequivocally celebrates and commends collective shout for. At the time, this incident has sparked a surprising amount of controversy and mixed reactions, which have reached national headlines. Yes, it's not about the content, it's about the control. I don't have any love or nostalgia in my heart and soul for sex simulator games, but they have a right to exist. It is content for adults. It is properly rated, therefore it can exist. I might not love the content. You guys might not love the content. You might not care about these games at all, but ultimately they have a right to exist. Pepper, I'm not even reading that. Stop. That's not even funny. It's not even funny. No! Stop! It's not funny! Do you even speak English? V, space, and capitalize. What the fudge? Stop, Poncho. It's not even funny. It's not. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. I do. I do. I do. I'd rather you not do that, but that's cool. Okay. As both a gamer and an advocate against sexual violence, I believe I have a unique perspective on this issue, and I can speak to the various concerns raised from both sides. What was the last game you played? What was it? Fucking Temple Run in 2011? Candy Crush in 2012? What was the last game you played that wasn't on a mobile device? Yeah, I didn't think so. In this piece, I will walk through the events that led up to the game's removal, the objections and controversy it sparked, and my response. Nobody cares about your response. I just gotta keep it a buck. I'm here to laugh at you and laugh at what you're doing, but as a gamer, stop. Just stop. Stop claiming you're a gamer when you've never played a video game in your life. This all began with a game called No Mercy. The game allows players to assume the persona of a man who ours is family members with a self-proclaimed huge focus on incest. I know how to say words. Incest. Well, maybe I don't know how to say words. YouTube, don't ban me. And male domination. Okay, guys, it's time to ban how many books? How many video games? How many TV shows? Well, guys, I guess we have to fucking edit out the history of the Habsburgs. Guess we can't have those books anymore in our history archives. Guys, guess we can't have A Song of Ice and Fire in our history records, right? Like, this is the problem, is you're saying that this content is bad, and again, you might feel uncomfortable with it, and that is perfectly fine. You don't have to feel comfortable with content. Sometimes art is supposed to be a little bit uncomfortable. But censorship is a slippery slope, and these people just want more power. They want more control. They want more things that they personally do not agree with. Time to ban the smut books they read. Listen, I've given my opinion on these, like, TikTok-y smut books in the past. Obviously, I think that they have a right to exist too. But I mean, even like 90s fantasy, there was a lot of 80s and 90s female targeted, like, smut romance books that released. I don't like read a lot of this content. There's a couple of like TikTok books, right, that over the years I've read because they're so ridiculous. It's like 50 Shades of Grey. What? I'm not reading it because I want to read it. I'm reading it because there's 80 million people fucking talking about this stupid book. It's like Twilight, right? Twilight is the stupidest shit ever, but I've still read it. The 90s, I think we'll just call it like mom romance fantasy. It's so much better because actual writers were writing. In this case, we're talking about chicks who are like unhappy in their marriage, and so they're creating these books to sell, to maybe make a name for themselves and make some money so they can divorce their husbands that they hate so much because they're actually misandrists, but they don't know how to write. there's such a massive difference between, we'll just say like the smut fantasy that releases now versus 30 or 40 years ago, because 30 or 40 years ago, it was actually being written by half-talented writers. But we could sit here and rant about this topic all day long, because the problem is that the people who are writing this fucking low-brow smut now, they're just ruining the image of women in the space. It's like with Frosks and Anita Sarkeesians, right? They claim that they're female gamers, but then they make themselves look like absolute losers, and then they hurt the image of female gamers in the space. Ugh. I'm so pissed. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Lone Wolf, thank you for the 2. Wonder if this woman has any issue with OnlyFans. You'd think so, but the problem with their argument is that, so they're saying that things like these video games, that they hurt real women. But what happens if it's OnlyFans and it's a real woman who's making that choice with her body? Feminism used to be my body, my choice. But now it's, oh, your body, but my sensibilities. Insane. Vera was investigating the smut content. I've read so much bad fucking content. It's crazy. Like, over the past couple months, like the past 2.5 months, I've been reading a ton of these. Actually, let me grab 1 or 2 of them real quick. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So, it's books like this. Yeah, I read a lot of absolute fucking trash. Hold on, let me hide this because that's a receipt. I have to read so much bad fucking trash like this book. Gaming Sexism. Are you kidding me? I've had to read like, I think I'm on 4 right now, but I have 2 others that I need to read. And I'm gonna start making like a video series on the books like this. On these like feminist, Anita Sarkeesian-esque books. But these books are insane. Like, I don't want to read this. But also, it's important that I do. So stupid. Since Gamergate, attention has turned toward toxic masculinity. But what has been sorely lacking until this point is the sociological data and deep understanding of the cultural intersects of gaming, gamers, and gamer culture. Oh, and by the way, she interviews 16... Let me see... Wait. Let me see her wording. Oh my god, what's her word? Oh, yeah. She identifies in... in this, she interviews 16 women-identified gamers. That's all you need to know, brothers. That's all you need to know. Yup. Well, what is a woman? Yeah, we're not even talking about her interviewing, Okay, this is the left. Sorry, these headphones are brand new. I'm not used to them yet, and they move around a lot. These headphones are kind of insane. I'm not used to them. I actually have to look at that left versus right. We put this in a video. I plan to start relatively soon a video series where I take one of the specific books and then I dissect it. But one thing I had noticed, so I was planning on doing it with just like, I don't know, 1 or 2 initially. But then I had realized that a lot of these women reference the same like studies and individuals. So I had to read a bunch at once. But yes, eventually I will be putting up videos on these things. Hold on 2 more seconds, guys. Also, Sam, thank you for the raid. Out of the 16... Out of the 16 women-identified gamers that Amanda Coate here interviews, women-identified, their names are By the way, it says their race and their sexual orientation. Adriana, Chiana, Elaine, Emily, Marty, Feather, Lainey, Mitzi, Taylor, Ryan, and Spinach. I got nothing else to say. Guys, I'm gonna interview a woman, identified individual, named Spinach and Feather. And you're definitely going to take this as a serious academic book, aren't you? You are, right? Surely. Spinach, come on. That's who the feminists are talking to about video games? Spinach. You guys, yeah. You guys, you don't want to know anymore. Poncho, thank you for the 2. Dictionary, still a better read. Yup. Carlos! Carlos, I can't do all the notifications because I'm on StreamYard, Carlos. Carlos the fucking Chad. Carlos, thank you for the 50 gifted. I can't do the donation notifications because I'm not on Streamlab. I'm on StreamYard. How could you do this to me, Carlos? How could you do this? Thank you so much for the 50 gifted. Absolutely insane. And Bad News Badger, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Implement in the document as a mention in a segment the supplemental sentiment after tormented argumentation for women to lament. Only 14 of these words is possible without men. Damn. Thank you for the dono. And again, Carlos, thank you for the 50. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Absolute chattery. Also, guys, say thank you to everybody or you're banned. So say thank you to everybody. Anyway, guys, are we ever gonna get through this entire article? Probably not. I mean, I've already talked about it in a video, but I really wanted to rant about it again because there's so much, you know? There's just so much. Glitch, thank you for the 2. So she interviewed trans strippers. Basically, so it says, yada yada, in March, a male gamer notified Collective Shout about the game. Uh-huh. Yeah. I don't believe that for a second. Ban me? Why would I ban you? What is a man? Yeah, I'm just not particularly believing this. But it says, this prompted Collective Shout to invite supporters to email Steam, urging them to remove No Mercy. 3,463 emails were sent to Steam. To this end, they did not respond. If you simply urged people to email Steam, how do you know the exact amount of emails that were sent to Steam? Did 3,463 of your fucking bots send emails? Did you send 3,463 spams? How do you know the exact number? Did you fucking hack into the fucking matrix and look at how many emails were sent that mentioned No Mercy? Like, excuse me? Okay. That's not suspicious at all, though, guys. Definitely not. Because of this inaction, Collective Shout then organized a petition for the removal of the game from Steam. 70,000 people signed this petition, yet no action was taken. So instead of just accepting the fact that, yeah, this didn't really violate the policy, or Steam felt like it was okay for them to have on their platform, they went and Karen'd out to payment platforms and payment processors. That is absolutely terrible. But of course, they don't see any problem in their action. Supporters of this campaign continued to email Steam leadership to remove all games, all R&I games, which were counted as nearly 500 games. is worded weird, but okay. By Collective Shout's team. Steam did not act on these emails. Due to the lack of response, they decided to launch a movement on May 26th. A total of 1,067 emails were sent to the payment processors, yet no action was taken. Again, how do you know the exact number? It's like, we have 320 people here in chat. Okay, if I said, go and email Collective Shout, I don't know, maybe 50 of you would, maybe 100 if you truly believed in the cause, but you're not going to get all 320 something people to go and email. Like, how do you come to this conclusion? Unless it's you yourself who are sending the emails. I don't know. Whatever. 5 days after the letter was sent, Steam implemented a new policy stating developers cannot publish content that may violate the rules and standards set forth by their payment processors and related card networks and banks or network or internet network providers. In particular, certain kinds of adult-only content. It was after the implementation of this policy that Steam began deleting R and I games. Here are just a few examples. And again, I personally am not, the biggest fan of these types of games, but ultimately they are allowed to exist. I rarely email the people I'm supposed to. Rover's actually slacking at work. Hey, Rover's boss, which really is just YouTube. By the way, Rover, can you make sure that they don't ban my account? Can you maybe leave a note on my account saying, hey, she's not too bad. Come the next election cycle, if you don't ban her account, she'll shill for your stupid politician. Thanks, Rover. I appreciate it. There have been an unconscionable level of aggressive threats launched against the women at Collective Shout after Steam and Itch took action. They've received threats, including threats to their children. Where, I don't believe you. I really just don't believe you. Thank you for the donation. Delamul, I appreciate it. I just don't believe what these people are saying. There's not a 0% chance. I'm not saying that absolutely nobody would have gone this far, but also, did anybody really go this far? I'm not going to blindly believe these people at this point. I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They have not earned it. Nothing merits this kind of blatant harassment, threats, and blackmail that these people have sent to Collective Shout. The content they have sent these women includes some of the worst statements I've seen in my life. In response, Caitlin Roper stated the intention is to make us frightened, to make us fearful, and to get us to shut up. We're not going to be threatened or bullied out of advocating for women. I think that this is so funny. We're not going to be threatened and bullied out of advocating for women and girls. So you're saying you don't want to be censored. Do these people truly understand what they're saying? So in one case you're saying censorship is good, and in another case you're saying nobody should be censored based on their opinion and the statements they're making. So I don't think these people understand that censorship is a slippery slope. And when one person gets censored, that means anybody could get censored. And you bet your fucking bottom dollar you're gonna be censored at one point too, lady. Who's gonna defend you? Who's gonna say poor Collective Shout? Nobody. Some in the gaming community expressed concerns that this could lead to the censorship of other games, such as ones displaying violence or LGBTQ+ themes, but there is really no comparison to generally violent games or LGBTQ+ content and this violent and hateful content targeted towards women. Yes, there is, because ultimately there are people that are part of the LGBTQ+ that are violent or that have violence, levied towards them. So just because it's got an LGBTQ+ character or cast of characters doesn't mean that it should be protected if there are these intense adult themes. It's adult content made for adults. Games like No Mercy encouraged players to hurt every female character and rewarded them for doing so. It was promoted with language like become every woman's worst nightmare. My colleague proposed an interesting thought experiment here. Nobody cares. Imagine that. Instead, the game was designed to have people hunt down and torture every LGBTQ plus character, every person of color. Would we not condemn such a game and call for its removal? Why then should it be different if the game's target is women? So... I love how they try, in this case, to say, well, technically, guys, this would be just as bad. You don't actually care because there are games with LGBTQ plus characters, and I'm sure people of color, I haven't looked at every game, that were removed, that were in these products. It doesn't matter if you like it or you don't. It's properly rated adult content. Blame parents for allowing their children to see it. This isn't about censorship. Yes, it is. You're lying. It's about protecting women and girls by not promoting games based on their sexual torture. If it's about protecting women and girls, why are you not speaking up about the places in the world where women don't have rights, where women are treated less than animals, where women are treated fucking terribly, where women are slaves? Why are you not speaking up about those places? If you actually care about protecting women and girls, start speaking up about those places. Stop worrying about video games, because in video games, it's pixels on a screen. It's not real people, and ultimately, it's not real people being hurt. Go worry about the people who are actually being hurt right now in real time. This is the problem with fourth wave feminism, and this is the problem, especially in the Western world of feminism. These people will complain about things that they see on platforms like TikTok or YouTube or on Steam, but they don't think outside of their border, right? They are only thinking in the context of the United States. They're not thinking about places where women are forced to be in burqas and women are beaten every day. They're not worried about places where women are treated like slaves and cattle. They're not actually worried about taking down all of these sex exploitation rings. They're not worried about women who are trafficked. They're sitting here worrying about pixels on a fucking screen. Get your priorities straight. The problem with fourth wave feminism is they just think about what could affect them, and if it's halfway across the world, they don't give a fuck because it doesn't affect them. It's so stupid. It's like I always say, real feminism, true equality for women is a good cause, right? But the issue with modern day feminism is it's really just about degrading men and attacking men in order to prop up women. They're worried about denigrating individuals instead. It's not actually about protecting, you know, young girls and women. If it really was, they'd be worried about real living people being hurt, not about pixels on a fucking screen. And there is no consistent scientific evidence to back up the claim that video games cause violence in the real world. Sure, there are situations that have happened in the world where somebody will say, oh, I was a COD player and that's why I hurt all of these people. Oh, I've watched PewDiePie before, right? And haha, he radicalized me. Whatever. But we're not talking about on a consistent basis. If it truly was, if there was truly a correlation between violence in a video game and violence in the real world, there's what, 3.5 billion gamers out there, or 3 billion gamers out there, the world would be in shambles. The world would literally be in fucking shambles right now. And sure, there are some places in the world where violence is out of control and it's really bad, but I'm talking like total crush of society here at that type of level. Yeah, I agree, Rover. They're really only interested in email activism. Yep, 100%. It's true. They say that these games place the user as the rapist, enabling them to virtually abuse another character, turning them into an active participant, arguing that removing these games will somehow lead to the censorship of all violent or LGBTQ plus content is a chicken little argument. Yeah, and your argument that it's for the kids and protecting kids is a fucking Trojan horse. It's not actually about protecting kids. It's like with what the government's doing right now. It ultimately just leads to more power and more fucking control. Of course, a normal person is going to say, wow, if this is going to protect the kids, then I agree with it. But when you look at it deeper, it's not actually about protecting the kids. None of you guys give a fuck about protecting the kids. You're just using it as an excuse. First, SBI tried to appeal to regular public. Now this, yep. Poncho, thank you for the donation. Stop, your words are torturing me. Oh, the womanity. I almost said womanity. Whatever, I said it right the first time. Womanity. Thank you for the donations. The majority of gamers do not defend the games themselves and are instead focused on payment processors having too much power and how this could lead to censorship of other content. Yeah, this is a problem. However, there is a minority of people who do defend the games, claiming it's just a game. It is just a game, and it's not actually hurting anyone. Yep, that is actually the truth. It is just a video game. It's not my fault that you guys can't differentiate between fiction and reality. I should not have to worry about my entertainment being ripped away from me because you can't tell the fucking difference between reality and fiction. Yep. I mean, you're sitting here and my God, the problem is we're going in circles. You're sitting here and you're saying that it's bad because it could hurt women when you're not actually protecting real women. I don't know what else I could say without going in a fucking circle here. It makes me dizzy because these people don't actually argue and they don't have like legitimate arguments. They're just sitting here saying, oh my gosh, somebody could be hurt by this, so we need to censor it all. On the contrary, research shows that sexually violent media can and does lead to increased acts of sexual aggression. You link one single study, which by the way, I'm not gonna click it. I clicked it in another video. It does bring up, I think some information, or I have to log into a Facebook account or whatever. It's fucking stupid. But it's one study that has 1,500 people wave 1, 1,200 people wave 2, and 1,000 people all interviewed wave 3. That's it. You're talking about one single study? One? That's all you've got? You're saying that 3 billion people in this fucking world are hurting women, which by the way, keep in mind that out of that 3 billion, I guess it's like 1.3 billion are women. You're saying that all of these gamers, 3 billion gamers, almost half of which are women, are out there committing horrendous acts against women because it happens in video games. You're so stupid. You're so stupid. You're so brain dead. You actually deserve a fucking golden sticker. You're so dumb. Roughly half of the industry is allegedly women, unless they're saying that all of those studies are falsified. Maybe. Yeah. Rob, thank you for the 5. Why are more people not talking about this? I'd figure more creators on YouTube would speak up more on this because they're afraid. They're afraid of payment processors ripping their avenue of making money away from them. I know Archcast just had it happen with PayPal. There are creators, like artists, who are having their Patreons closed down. I'm not trying to be a doomer here, but I have a feeling my Patreon's gonna bite the dust. They're having like their Adobe accounts closed. There are people that are afraid, and I understand that. Like it is scary, right? It's scary to think that, oh, I'm gonna go to sleep and tomorrow my YouTube channel is gonna be erased. My YouTube channel is gonna be deleted. Oh, if I talk about this, something could happen. But ultimately, yeah, I mean, if we don't talk about it, then they're just going to have total, complete, and utter control. So, like, I'm not trying to say I'm a martyr here, right? But I'm definitely putting my channel and my, like, neck on the line because, yeah, so few people are talking about it. And Who knows? Maybe this is my last stream, guys. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a doomer. I'm really, really not. But Discord, Patreon, PayPal, YouTube, StreamYard, Streamlab, X, these are all platforms. Instagram, these are all platforms that could, in theory, just ban you whenever they wanted. And we already know that if you're vocal on certain platforms, you're probably cooked. But the only thing I'll say that is good news, look at me, your #1 political streamer. I am your political streamer. Do not forget it. Hey, whoa. Where's my... Hey, whoa. Where'd my StreamYard tab go? What the fudge? Oh, here it is. I was like, wait a minute. Where'd it go? Your #1 political streamer will point out politics. President Donald Trump has signed an order cracking down on banks for political discrimination. Not that that makes everything better. Not that that means everything's rainbows and sunshine, but that is still some kind of win. Hey, I'm not making a statement on Trump or his policies or his administration. I'm not making any statements. I'm just saying that's, hey, some kind of win is some kind of win. Any form of discrimination is bad. Yeah, that's true. Discrimination is bad. It's true. See, thought I'd point that out. Anyway, going back to the article. I'm a gamer. No, you're not. Tell me one game that you've played. Prove that you've played one single game. Should I put up a post? Hold on. I guess I don't have to say cell phone. What am I, fucking grandpa? Okay, let's put that. Gamer. Yup. Screenshot that. Yup. She call herself a gamer anywhere else? Hold on, guys. This is very important journalism. Gamer. Pfft. I barely even know her. Aw, shit. I should put this one first. Fudge. You can't reorganize on Twitter. Elon! Fix this shit! Fix this shit, Elon. Elon Musk, fix this. As both a gamer. Okay, here's one. Yup, true. Here's another. Okay, gamer. Fudge. Gamer. There we go. Guys, did you know she's a gamer? Provide to us one single screenshot of a game you played to completion or really played at all, preferably one that isn't on a phone. Listen, I don't know. She'll probably not respond, but if she wants us to take her seriously, she should prove that she's a gamer right fucking now. They played Call of Duty. Stop. That's not... Typing is forbidden. That's Call of Duty. That's wild, to be honest. That's wild. She's gonna fucking download Candy Crush and get past the first level. Anyway, we'll see. Probably not. I don't think she's proven at all that she's actually a gamer. She claims that she's a gamer, but you can say something and not actually be something. It is what it is. Guys, in about 10 minutes, I think I'll be wrapping up stream. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Any comments? Leave them in chat. Any topics? Wow, we still have a bunch of topics that we didn't technically get through. See, this is the problem is, even with a discussion stream, unless I'm just rapid firing through them, there's always so many freaking topics. Finishing up this article though, when we asked what keeps Caitlyn and all the other women at Collective Shout going despite the abuse, she said, "Through all the threats and the abuse, there will be a little glimmer, and it will be a message from someone. And it'll say, 'I'm a survivor, thank you. This means so much that you're doing this.' And I say to myself, that's right, we can get all the hate and the abuse and the contempt and anything else, but this is why we do it. We do it for the women and girls, and for people who value our human rights." Thank you, chat, for being here. I appreciate it. I can get all of the hate and all of the abuse and the contempt and anything else, but this is why I do what I do. I do it for the men and the chuds and the bigots, and for the individuals who value our human rights. Yikes. It's always, wow. I'm such a good person with these people. These people just cannot help but pat themselves on the fucking backs. They really just can't help themselves. Also, guys, really quickly, if you haven't already, go and subscribe to the second channel. I posted the Minish Cap review 2 days ago. Yesterday, I posted my Wu-Chang review. I was originally planning on recording the Tolkien collection video this week and the Elden Ring video, because I have the Elden Ring plushies I just got in. But this week has been so busy, and with the schedule changing, and me not streaming Saturday, yeah, I've been super busy. I'll be streaming tomorrow night though. We'll be streaming Mafia for a couple of hours, and then we'll be playing it again on Sunday. But yeah, there's been so much news with the censorship topic that it's just been, I've been focused on really following that. So yeah. When are you gonna do a comprehensive review of Bilbo? I mean, his name's Bilbo, right? So technically he's part of the Tolkien collection. Right? Bilbo! What is he doing? Bilbo! Why he do that? Yeah, why he do that? Hello? Are you good? Are you okay? Hello? Sorry for bothering you, Buster. I apologize for causing you such distress, I suppose. Jeez. I just got glared at. But go and subscribe to the second channel if you haven't already. Let me read a chat. But yeah, I mean, technically, I guess I could do a comprehensive review of Bilbo during the Tolkien one. Fine, I'll give Liza a second try. It's such a good game. It's so good! Thank you for your service. God bless you, Varadark. Stay strong and stay safe. Keep up the good work. God bless you, brother. Thank you for the support. And Stark, thank you for the 5. Verified Yapper. That's me. I'd say don't wear it out, but man, these talk streams, after talking for multiple hours at a time before it, man, it takes a lot out of you. It really does. Interrupting his slow yoga. Yeah, he's enjoying his time, I guess. Bilbo! Hi! Hi! Nothing? Nothing else? Nothing to say? Okay. He wants us to leave him alone. He wants us to leave him minding his own business, kind of. Well, see, the problem is that everything is his business, right? So, just being around is him minding his business. He's keeping an eye on his business. But yeah, I'll definitely be covering a couple of these topics in another video or a bunch of videos tomorrow and Saturday. There's a lot going on. My schedule is a little bit messed up, and that's a reason why I decided to do a discussion stream so that I can get through a couple more topics. Tomorrow I'll have up videos, of course. Saturday videos, I'm pre-recording them tomorrow because I will not be around on Saturday. And then tomorrow, guys, I'm going to be live in the morning at 12 on Side Scrollers. After that, I'll be putting up videos, and then yeah, I will be live tomorrow evening playing Mafia. Since Mafia releases, I figured since I'm not streaming on Saturday, we do a Friday night stream, and then we'll do a stream on Sunday. I don't know if we'll be able to finish in that time frame. I've heard it's 10 to 13 hours depending on if you do side quests. So I'm thinking we could do like 3-4 hour streams of it roughly, but who knows, right? Maybe between tomorrow and Sunday we'll be able to finish it up, and then next week, well, actually over the next 2 weeks we don't have anything specific lined up. I think I'm going to take another look at Four Swords, because I want to stream all the Zelda games, you know, in order, the Child Timeline ones, but Four Swords, they only ever came out with a limited time digital anniversary version that allows you to play solo, so I'm going to try to very legally find a way to obtain that so that we can stream that. If not, we're going to the big boys. It would be Ocarina, it would be Majora's, so maybe we'll be starting that next week. I also want to finish up Night Rain. I want to do some more Night Rain, and next week I think we're going to try out the Battlefield 6 open beta. I wanted to initially like kind of try it tonight, but the queue times were insane and I'm just not about that. So I'm thinking next week we could try out Battlefield for a night. So over the next like 2 weeks, we're gonna have just some random like filler time to do whatever we feel like. But yeah, that's the plan, guys. Of course, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of your support. Your direct donations, your memberships are all really appreciated. Yes, we did finish Kazan. We finished Lies of P and Kazan in the same night, and I did put up the individual review over on the second channel. But yeah, that's the plan. Go and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and follow me on social media. Join the Discord if you're not already a part of it. I will be live again on Side Scrollers tomorrow morning. I will be uploading videos. I will be live tomorrow evening playing Mafia Rover. Thank you so much for the $49.99. Absolutely insane. Big support. I'm sad I can't show the super sticker, but it is the hippo jumping out of the chest, which I appreciate. But yeah, thank you guys for your direct donations, for your memberships, for your support. Just being here is really great. I am thankful for that. Also, leave a like on the stream on the way out if you haven't already given it a like. But yeah, check out today's videos. Do one tomorrow per usual. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by, and have a really good YouTube being frozen. I love YouTube being frozen. Okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by, and have a really good rest of your evening, everyone.